You're playing the First Descendant? So I'll be real, I'm playing it too. I was going to stream the First Descendant, but I did some research into the company. They're super shady. Like, they've been sued for several $100 million for lying about like drop rates and like their loot boxes and stuff. And like, you can tell by playing the game that it's structured to like incentivize you to like spend as much money as possible instead of actually, you know, just focusing on being a good game. That said, it is actually kind of a fun game, so I am enjoying it. But like, I'd feel bad at advertising it to like all the people on my stream. These companies are tarnishing the gaming world, right? Like, it's gotten weird. Like, the free-to-play freemium games like have really made so much money that they're producing some of like the highest quality games like I've seen. I wouldn't call First Descendant that, but like Zenless Zone Zero, I think came out maybe yesterday or very recently, or maybe it's in a few days. But that game looks sick. Like, the animation is way over the top. I believe it's a free-to-play game. Like, it looks good. It's got a good story. And I want to say it was like Sony's latest like game demos where they showed off a bunch of games. And the best looking games like Infinity Nikki and some other game, like they look like AAA high quality games, and then you like find out that they're like free to play gacha games, and you're like, but I don't know how to feel. It looks like the best game available, but it's gonna be it's gonna be some kind of like awful money grab. Like, I want to love it, but I think I'm gonna avoid those, which is kind of a shame. I think I would want to give Infinity Nikki a try. That one looks cute. X, I love games with thick story and try to follow that with a thick story to follow and develop, right? I don't know, if they could just make, well, they do make looter shooters that you can follow, but that's like exactly what I'm in the mood for. Like, I'm in the mood for something like a Borderlands, like a new one. I'm getting a little tired of the Borderlands, but I need that kind of game. Like, I like loot. Loot's good. But I want to play like an actual game and not some freemium nonsense where they drop, 17 monograms that you need to transmute into polygrams so you can like get 10 pulls to maybe like get like one thing. Ugh. You have decided long ago that you're not condoning games that are money grabbing. I don't mind playing if it makes my experience worth it. Yeah, like, here's the thing. I've decided to never pay any money for, well, I'm gonna go back on my word. I think I bought some kind of cosmetic thing. I think it was like Cluedo. I bought all like the skins and the maps for that, but like, it was cheap. It didn't seem like a horrible investment, but yeah, for the most part, like, if it's a free-to-play game, I try not to spend like a single dime on it. And if it stops being fun because I didn't spend a single dime on it, I'm like, it's time to leave. You'll pay for cosmetics, but nothing to make you better. Yeah. You love earning, right? So like, the First Descendant's really bad about that because you pay money to get through the game quicker. But like, if the game's supposed to be like the best part of the game, why would you pay to have that experience faster? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if the gameplay is enjoyable enough, like, you shouldn't want to pay to skip it. It's so weird. I don't understand that monetization like scheme. Like somebody just wants to get to the end of the game in like 5 seconds. And like, good, you're there. Game's over. Bye. These new kids are on some stuff I don't get. Yeah. I'll try to raise my kids to reject microtransactions. Went to a birthday party and a kid got like a gift card for Fortnite, and I'm like, Fortnite's free. Don't spend money. Don't spend fake money on it. Ugh. I didn't say that out loud. I'm like, I'm not gonna shit on this kid's birthday party, but this is a bad habit to develop in your kids. Alright, how much time do I have? I think I could get through like one more chapter. We might cut it off in the middle. Starlight 2, still in Act 2, Starlight Sonata, Chapter 13, Come Hell or High Water. Good evening, innkeeper. Good evening, Grace. Could I ask you for a drink? Anytime. What can I do for you? I'm pretty spent. Do you have something that will keep my mind awake a little longer? I should have something that can do just that. One moment. This is Grace. She just got her PhD. A lot of my viewers are working on PhDs. And I get the struggle. My wife was working on a PhD when I met her. And then she had kids and PhD became impossible, and so she stopped with 2 master's degrees. My wife is a very smart lady. You refused to go back to traditional school? Your master's was enough, right? I only got I didn't even get a bachelor's. I'm a college dropout. I'm also a high school dropout. But, like, I did not have the money for that kind of school. Like, I took all my major and minor related courses first. And so, like, everything I had left was, like, general electives. So I'm, like, in General Psychology 101 and Poli-Sci 101 and just like filling these requirements that felt pointless. Like I was in an internship in like a career that I wanted, and I'm like, why am I still giving the school money? Like, what are they gonna do? Repossess my knowledge if I stop going? It's just ridiculously expensive. Like I don't know what to do with my kids. Like, I want them to get an education, but like college seems like the worst possible option. Like, I just don't have $10 million lying around, you know? And yet, look at how successful I am. It's not everyone's path that should be taught, right? Because now it is, unfortunately, right? Like, I think the future might be in, like, unaccredited education. Like, fake pop-up universities that are, you know, not charging some ridiculous amount that don't have to live up to federal standards. Like, weird trade schools and apprenticeships, I think, are going to pop up. But, I don't know. My children's future is something I've got to worry about. Some point. Trades are good and certifications pay. They do. I mean, like, I've got an electrician coming to the house, and I know how much money he's going to get from me. It makes me feel like maybe that's the way to go. If you want to make money, like, you need to, like, be an electrician or a roofer or, like, a plumber. That's how you make a great living these days. Or at least that's how it feels to me. Whew. A drink for the mind and soul. Enjoy. Thank you. This is just what I needed. Why are you still so tired? I thought you were done with your thesis. Look now, find out what they are into and nurture that. Unlike when we grow up, there's more opportunities to make a living from that without a middleman. Yep. I think my son wants to be a content creator when he grows up, just judging on how much he loves that I'm a streamer and how much he loves other streamers. I think he wants to be like one of those reaction streamers. Be like, whoa, poggers! Dude! And it kills me just a little bit, but you know, it's him. I think he'll outgrow that at some point. And my daughter wants to be an artist. Train him now because there's a lot that goes into it? Yeah. I think me being a content creator shows him like how much work is like behind it. Like it might not seem like it, but I actually play less video games now as a streamer than I did beforehand. Just because like I spend like 10 hours a week like doing YouTube stuff, like chopping videos, creating thumbnails, writing descriptions, like preparing tweets, and like all this extra stuff to like make this work somehow. A lot of people think you just like turn on your stream and like someday they'll be famous. It just does not work like that anymore. Maybe it did at one point, but not anymore. Yeah, and if he still wants to do it, then nurture it. Yeah, not lying, the editing, the script, etc. is a lot, right? Whew. Like, the truth of the matter is, nobody actually wants to watch you play video games. Like, they just want somebody to hang out with. Like, that's... Your companionship is more close to what you're selling than anything else. You want to play video games while you do it, because, like, that's what makes you happy. But yeah, if you're just playing video games on a couch in the middle of the mall, people are just gonna walk right by you. Now, if you're hanging out with people and having a good time and talking and having fun, then people like stop and hang out. I am genuinely appreciated for being available when no one else was. Yeah. Or you are genuinely appreciated for being available when no one else was. Yeah. Yes. Like, there's kind of a loneliness epidemic going through the United States, and people, like, just have a hard time making friends anymore. And so just being there for people is, like, a huge thing you can do. And it works. Anyway, I'll make a giant YouTube video about, like, all my content creation theory, because I know a lot of people want to be successful streamers, and I want to share my experiences. I want to do I've tried to be a video game streamer for a year, and this is what happened. And that will actually probably get a ton of views because everyone wants to do the same thing. And I'll share all the things I discovered and all the things I've learned and how it paid off or how it didn't pay off and mistakes I think people make. Like, there's a lot to go into. And I should get into it another time. Right now, we should see what she wants. Why are you still so tired? I thought you were done with your thesis. I am. Which also means I need to figure out what to do next. Oh yeah, that sounds rough. No one ever thinks about what happens after the PhD. The possibilities are endless, but not boundless. So considerations are a complicated endeavor. Have you considered a break? I have. Say, innkeeper, if you had forever, what would you do with it? Never thought about that before. I like being an innkeeper, so I could just keep doing this forever. It's relaxing and safe, and I get to meet the most wonderful people and wizards all day. Forever is a really long time. Isn't there anything else you would like to do? Everyone wants to get away from the rat race and being undervalued at these jobs, right? Like, really, it's my employer's fault for me becoming a streamer. Like, when they're like, hey, the market was bad, so you're not getting a cost of living adjustment this year or next year. You're just like, well, you know, there was no polite way to say what I wanted to say. It started with an F. But yeah. So whenever the company I work for makes me mad, I try a side hustle. And streaming has worked better than any side hustle I've tried in history. Like, I think this one might actually work. I think it's financially viable. That, like, one day I can quit my day job and be a streamer. So I'm keeping it up. Forever is a really long time. Isn't there anything else you would like to do? No. I'm content with my existence. Like the tavern keeper, I just want to play video games. I see no point in changing it. I don't know if I should be happy or sad for you. Be happy for me. I found what I love. I'm happy with my existence. Better? I don't believe you. That's fine. What would you do with immortality? I would learn everything there is to learn. Every language, instrument, skill, and facet of mortal existence. I would travel the plains with my brother and learn even more. Have an infinite amount of tea parties. I'd come to those. When we were little, Hex would always make all the stuffed animals dance around our little tea table. Aww. We didn't have money for music boxes, so he just made up some songs for them to dance to. He sang them to me. If I had time, I would love to write down all those songs and invent dances for them. You should make time for that. It's your time, after all. And besides, while you don't have forever, you do have quite a lot. An elven lifespan is nothing to scoff at, even if you only get half. Now, if you got the human side of the lifespan... Oh, that's less time. It is, but I'll make the most of it. What will you do next, then? Sorry, like... So she's a half-elf and she got the human lifespan? That's a raw deal. I'm not sure yet. I was thinking about going to Ashfidel. The capital of the Magocracy? Magocracy? I've heard the libraries there are 60 stories tall and the rivers float through the sky in an exuberant display of mana. Sounds like paradise for someone like you. Yes, but Hex really wants to stay here. He likes Fazoa, Zenith, the Ashen Grove. I think he likes how quiet it is, if you would believe it. I don't think he'd like the bustle of it all. You'd just go without him. There's a Magocracy embassy in Zoford. Their teleportation is expensive but reliable. I don't think he wants to go back to Zoford either, and I won't make him. He could teleport himself then. He really should. It's quite a long distance, and he's always been awful at teleportation. He could take a ship. I appreciate the effort, but I don't think a ship would help make the distance acceptable to him. He's always going to follow me, no matter where I go. I think he doesn't want to miss out on any adventures or celebrations or funerals. You can just tell him that you want to go alone. But then he'd be alone too. Just talk to him, Grace. I want to spend our time together fighting. I just don't want him to spend it mourning me either. You should tell him that. He'll have enough time to mourn you when you're gone. Unlike life, that never ends. I suppose you're right. I'd like to leave something he can remember me by. Maybe I'll build my own wizard tower. Please do. I love those. Did you hear about the one in Morelia, near Dalwell? The one with the infamous Magocreation? You're just making up words now. Magicration. Why not just say magician? Fugitive. The very same. It seems that its wizard has disappeared without a trace, leaving his tower vacant. Always wanted to stop by for tea, but I don't want to be rude and intrusive, so I haven't. I wonder what he left behind. I'm sure it's a collection of fascinations and impossibilities. Couldn't you just teleport in to check? Can't exactly teleport in and out of well-protected places all willy-nilly. You might end up trapped or on a whole other plane. You might. Maybe that's what happened to the wizard. Maybe. No one seems to know what happened to him, or even who he was. And no one seems interested in finding out either. Isn't that sad? A little. I don't want to disappear like that. You won't. I'll tell your stories for as long as I'm around. How long is that? For as long as this world will bear me. You are very easy to bear. I've been told that. Thank you, Grace. Would you like to stay for a little while? Please. I find your inn truly inspiring. Have you seen my new dragon? He's cool. He's up here by the window. He's cute. I'll be here if you need a rubber duck. I'm counting on it.